Well, there we go. It's the 18th to the 11th down here in Wellington, across here in Wellington, New Zealand. And my cognitive dissonance keeps getting in my way when I think of the shape of the Earth. And the shape of the Earth, I guess, is kind of relevant to what's been happening over the last week. Of course, a few days ago we had a really big earthquake in Wellington. It's actually turned out to be a 7.8. That's nearly an 8. And we've survived, although initial reports, the city seemed to have got off quite light, but now it appears that's been revised and several buildings, a number of buildings have been assessed and they will have to actually be demolished. So, yeah, interesting times. Because, of course, in 2013 we had a serious earthquake in the South Island, and we felt it here in Wellington. And of course, this last one was based in the South Island, actually kind of near Kaikoura, which took full blast of it. And fortunately, we've only had a couple of fatalities, like which to be only 2 people, one was injured and the other from medical. I think the whole issue was just too much for a particular person, and that was the end. But we are continuing to deal with everything on a day-to-day basis. Of course, the possibilities of an aftershock in the region of 6.5 to 7 are quite likely, and so we'll just have to hope that the next one is not close to where there are numbers of people. Anyway, the whole experience is tiresome, stressful, and takes you back to basics. One thing that I am somewhat intrigued at is how this old house of mine has stood up. Now, it's actually been through numerous quite severe earthquakes and showing very little sign of damage anywhere. I can't see any damage anywhere, actually, not even of significance. So, there we go. I guess the big issue for me is not what has happened with the seismic shaking up, but more my metaphysical earthquake, if you like, of totally disbelieving the propaganda of the globe that I've been indoctrinated with. And I've managed, I think, to shake off a substantial amount of that. And somewhat relieved, to be quite honest. What does trouble me is the amount of absolute nonsense that continues to be emanate from NASA with talk about space travel and planets, and yeah, and of course the whole issue of gravity. Of course, once you question and challenge the idea of a globe, then gravity's up for grabs as well. And I have to say that as I think about water flowing uphill, of the flight paths of aeroplanes and ships on the horizon, of which I've been taking numerous pictures with my new Nikon P900 camera. Wonderful camera with the ability to actually, magnify 83 times, or the equivalent of a 2000mm lens. They're showing that the curves just don't exist. But despite that, propaganda continues. I think the propaganda about the existence of the globe. But the fascinating thing about the flat Earth is that it opens the door to so many questions, far more questions than there are answers. And the whole issue of how the Earth's climate system works, and what is it that's beyond the ice wall, because of course we have had various explorers travel somewhat from where the ice wall is. But so far, there's been very little in the way of evidence produced about where the exact boundary is. And what does that mean? And if, as Richard Byrd pointed out, there was land the size of America on the other side of the pole towards Middle America that had never been explored by any human, there's again a lot to take into consideration. Okay, so I think we'll sort of leave this for now. Just kind of like reporting back in to say, this earthquake is actually kind of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, and so we've been concentrating on assessing the situation for now. I have to say, travel plans around New Zealand need to be rethought. I was intending to go to the South Island. Hopefully, I'll still be able to do that after Christmas, but certainly won't be using the State Highway 1 between Picton and Kaikoura. But I do hope to try and get near there in order to document with my new photographic equipment, some of the upheaval. Right. Well, until next time, we're over and out.